What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are at my buddy Missile's shop. We've got the boys here. They're gonna help us get the dual calipers mounted, the hydraulic lines, and the hydro handbrake installed in our G35 drift car. What? Oh, a little dusty. Woo! What? Yeah, camber wear. It's all on the inside. He needs ratchets and sockets, he says. All right, so getting started here. First thing, obviously, wheels got to come off. So I ordered, I'll show you guys what we got here. So we got the FDF Dual Caliper Brackets. Since I'm already running Brembo calipers, I got a set of used Brembos off a marketplace. Obviously not in the best condition, but they'll run. And we got the axle spacers to make up for the thickness of this. We don't want the axles having any issues, so we got the 10 mil axle spacers, brackets, calipers. I got the GK Tech lines, and you guys already saw the handbrake from the last video. So Joey's trying to get my, oh, he's already got the spacer off. So yes, he's waiting to work. He's like annoyed that I'm talking to camera and not actually working right now. Okay, so we're just gonna hop into it. There we go. The hub is off and the impact is stuck. There we go. Yeah, we kind of had to fold up the brake dust shield. Yeah, a lot of remnants of driven luck, and all of my offs at mid pond are coming back to bite us. So working on getting this side first. We basically had to disconnect all of the different connection points. Sorry if the fan behind me is a little loud. All of the different connection points on the knuckle. So 1, 2, and then there's 3 on this side for your camber arm and maybe your toe arm. Obviously this is stock, so non-adjustable. But basically disconnect those so that we can move this guy up and around so that we can get to the bolts on the back side that are actually holding the hub on there.
They're talking about remnants of driven luck.
Yeah, that's yeah, we'll oh yeah, Joey's just covered, if you can't tell. He's just bathed. There's long ones and there's short ones. I might have to go. Basically it spaces off of this little gap. Oh. So there's 2 for the driver's side, 2 for the passenger side. Probably not even gonna reuse these. You can basically cut this Y section off if you want to reuse this, but it's gonna get drifted. It's gonna get dirty anyway. It can't really get much dirtier than it already is, and the dust shield ain't gonna help with that. So. So now that we've got most of the end of one side reassembled, we're going to be putting on this set of used drilled and slotted rotors. I tried to clean it up a little bit. It looked way worse than this. So yeah, because of the fact that they are drilled all the way through, they're probably going to crack at some point, but you know what? We got them. We might as well run them. All right, so here we go. Obviously they're sort of silver, not gold like everything else, all of the other calipers on the car, but there we go. Yeah, and we found out that because we didn't retain the dust shield is what the shoes, the little pads for the standard parking brake attach to. And so since we said, oh, forget about it, we'll just not worry about cutting and using the dust shield, I'm not gonna have a standard parking brake, which 99% of the time won't be a problem. I'll just leave it in gear when the car's not running, because I wasn't using the parking brake to lock the wheels anyway, because it just wasn't strong enough. So it's not really a big loss in general. But we got one done. We've already kind of started working on the other side, but yeah, once we pulled all of the bolts out of the knuckle to be able to get it loose, it made it way easier to reassemble everything. Well, one, to get it all off, to disassemble and then reassemble, slip the axle back in through here, redo this bolt, all of that stuff. So one side is done, and we're gonna just keep plugging away on the other side. All right, so we've got basically everything off on this side, so we're good to go there. I believe it's just getting the other bracket on there and the axle spacer. The normal caliper mounts there, and the dual caliper goes onto this. And then we have the axle spacer, which helps to essentially make up the difference for the thickness of this plate. So just go ahead and get all this back on pretty much, reassemble it, and we're good. All right, well, that more or less wraps up. What'd you say? That more or less kind of wraps up the main install here. We got drilled and slotted rotors on both dual calipers. The first of the three main objectives is more or less done. So now that this is done, we have the lines left to do, and we have the actual handbrake install itself left to do. But this was what I was anticipating to be the hardest task of the day. Yeah, so we'll have to do the handbrake next before we can run the lines. So we're gonna go ahead and see if we can't get the mounting plate on and see what of the center console we're gonna have to cut up to be able to make all of this still work together. Because that would have it like right here, which I think is what I would want. Having to go over this way would be kind of not ideal, but we're running into a little bit of a space conflict here. Basically, the bracket is going to be making contact with the side of the seat if we want to mount it this way, as opposed to mounting it on this side of the shifter, which I would like to have it on this side of the shifter as opposed to over there.
I can get it, but it is going to be jammed up against your seat.
How much of a problem is that going to be? And the other question is, how are we going to get the center console to drop over it? We'll just have to cut basically from here across. We'll just have to, so that it can just drop straight over top of it. May have to.
I mean, realistically, that's about where it's going to sit.
Yeah, which would be right there. Which I like that a lot. They're really just slightly different from the Z.
They don't match.
The bracket itself is, I knew it was kind of bent or a little bit warped. I didn't realize it was, what if we just drilled these holes out wider to the point where, so basically, if these two bolt holes line up, then these two do not. And if these two line up, then these two do not. So the idea is we're just gonna sort of try to turn this hole into a vertical slot on all four of these so that we have some adjustability up and down. That's the plan. We're gonna have to modify this. It's really not too big of a deal because, again, it's gonna be covered. So we're gonna have to go modify this. That's some hard metal. Does not like to be drilled. Might also be this bit. Well, these are Milwaukee bits, but still. I don't think this is going to be the last one of these we have to do either. I don't know that this drilling them out to this size is going to be enough. All right, after a bunch of drilling and filing and test fitting and more drilling, looks like we kind of got it. Maybe. but it is going to interfere with the seat. So we'll just have to see, as long as we can still slide the seat up to my position where I need it to be, hopefully this will just be good enough.
Before we do any of the lines,
Okay. Bolt the hydro in, and then because we just pulled the parking brake out, we're going to run the line through the slot where the cable for the parking brake would normally go to. So we're going to mount mount the hydro in, and then we'll just start doing the lines.
what we can probably do is we'll cut it out and we'll work the handbrake to where it does this.
Yeah.
Won't hurt nothing.
Sweet, and we'll just run it.
So I guess we should notch out your center console and get that back in next.
Handbrake is in, all hardware is mounted. We're gonna run this down through this here little grommet at the, yeah, I don't know, that's fine, whatever. So yeah, now we're gonna try to get the center console notched to figure out sort of where it is gonna need to go. And we might have to either drill a hole for this line to slot down through or something, but we'll figure something out there. And it's already probably about 7 o'clock, so I'm not exactly sure if we're gonna, how long the bleeding is gonna take. Joey says not long, but might be a bit of a late night. Give it the beans.
Dental cleaning time.
Dental cleaning. All the little rough edges. Yay. Look at that. Hot plastic. Come through.
That works.
But it's like,
we can see what we can do with that. Oh, that's not going to click in place.
this needs to be cut.
That's going to need to be cut.
Yeah, I kind of have. So just what, like run this up like that? Just a big diagonal slash, hold it back in place there, like that.
Probably, yeah.
This little corner here, this little corner of this trim piece, even though we've cut the actual like center that drops on top, in order to have this fit, the actual handbrake is interfering with all of this plastic. So we're just gonna have to kind of notch all of this off of there and just sort of keep going back and forth. All right, so we have the true sort of center console piece, and this, you know, that's what it looked like on the other side originally, and this is sort of what it looks like now. But I just went through with a little sand drum on the Dremel, cleaned up this edge, smoothed it out a little bit, and so I'm gonna drop this on there. Probably have to go over to the driver's side to do it properly. And there you go. We'll get our shift knob on here, but that is pretty much right along the edge of the actual handbrake mount. But so once this is in there, just clutch in. Don't pull the handbrake right now because fluid might go everywhere. But yeah, having this super close, shifter right here, like so. Clutch in, screw, click third. Yeah, I'm stoked on that, and I'm still loving how this actually looks. The color on that. Let's go. So we have to run the lines under the car. We have to pull out the factory handbrake cable because that's obviously not here anymore. But all of the little clips that are used for the handbrake cable, we're going to use those to actually run these lines underneath. Install the T-piece so that it can go to both of the calipers, bolt them all in, and then we just have to bleed. All right, so we had to pop the rear calipers off really quick just to be able to attach the lines in the back, just because you have to attach these first before you go to the T-piece. So pop these off, twist those lines on, tighten them down, pop those back in place. And so now we're just trying to figure out where the heck we're gonna run these things underneath.
so we can start getting that out.
Yep. You're not running that anymore. If I can. Oh, jeez. We may have to raise the front up a little bit. All right, guys, so we got all of the lines wrapped up under here. I don't know how well you're going to be able to see them, but basically we have them sort of zip tied together to kind of, the lines were a little bit too long to be run underneath. They were kind of intended to go through the car and then back out. So we just joined them here with the zip tie to sort of shorten them up a little bit. And the T-piece runs right up over top of the diff cover, so it's up, tucked up in there. And we also just did all of the bleeding. We're just kind of rushing through this because, as you can see, it's pretty dark. We started this day when it was light out, and in order to torque these down, I was holding the handbrake while he was torquing. So at the very least, we know the handbrake works. So at this point, we just need to throw the wheels on, and I guess we can kind of just start the car while it's on jack stands and like basically get the wheels up to speed, yank on the handbrake, and make sure it works. All right, guys, we got the whole thing finished up here. Handbrake feels amazing. It has a relatively short travel. Obviously, it's been a really, really long day trying to get all this done and helping Missa with his car and everything. So yeah, I'm super stoked to rip this at probably Lanier in a couple of Fridays, or 1 or 2 Fridays from now. So that's gonna wrap up the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to check out some of the merchandise, all of the stuff that Joey and I wear in all of our videos, head over to downshiftracing.co. Follow me at Building with Sean on all platforms. Follow Joey at Not Another Drifter on all platforms. And until next time, build your dreams. Too bright. Shit. Ow, fuck. A lot of sharp stuff on the side of this engine.
I saw that coming the last second. Are you okay?
Yeah, I like ran into some of the studs on the back here.
It peeled up a little bit of skin.
Yeah, it'll be all right. I literally started recording. It was like, ah, fuck.
Perfect.
Oh yeah, just don't. As long as you don't knock it over, you're all right to be.
I was like, yes, daddy, beat it, daddy, get it.
Oh no, that'll get cut. This will all be like time lapse with no audio on it. Anyway, so.
And then it was like, watch out for that camera. It's listening to me. I was like,
Suck my dick.
come on, where's it at?
All right.
Yeah, come on.
So
Let's go. Suck it.
It's right here.
I'm on camera and you saying yeah.
Yeah.
Cut.
Caught in the act, red-handed.